Look what happened to my TV just now. Jesus Christ. I was just about to leave this boat. And look what happened. Luckily, I think it stopped burning or overheating or whatever it did. This is crazy. It smells like shit. I was just about to leave the boat when this happened. I'm so happy I didn't. Really? Wow. This is crazy. Oh my god, this is serious business. I was just about to leave the boat. I was down here to get the coke and go over to Runa's boat and talk to them. And then suddenly it just wow, and this smoke screen came out from the TV. Oh, I'm pretty sure the TV is burned. That is the minor concern. What if this had happened when I was not here and was not able to disconnect the power? Could have started a real fire. Oh, so I'm a little shaky just now. This is scary. This is scary. I don't know any other word to put on it. This is real fucking scary. Jesus. Well, yeah, luckily this went well. Hey, how do you doodly do? Welcome to another episode of Sail Mermaid. In this episode we're gonna talk a little bit more about what you just saw. I think you can imagine my surprise when I heard the sound like and the boat filled up with smoke. This was a really shock for me, and I didn't know what was going on. What I did, I was over by the galley and I took 3 steps over here to switch off the power to prevent any more damage. That was my first concern, of course. Then I had a camera just in front of me and I picked it up and filmed. I don't know even why I did that at the time. I should have evacuated because this smoke is very toxic. But right there and then I was more concerned about documenting this, maybe for insurance purposes, for the vlog, for whatever. This is a major event. Then I went over to Runa's boat and talked to him and explained what has happened. And after a short while Jim also came to Runa's boat and told us that his charger for the computer was fried. And then we started realizing that this is not something insulated in my boat. This is maybe a problem with the shore power. And we start talking to some other people on the quays, and we found that there were other boats that also had this problem. Runa's boat was also on shore power, but he had this special fuse that prevented any damage on his boat. So he was lucky that way. We did now take a voltmeter out and checked the voltage on the key, and found that instead of the 220 to 235, which is the acceptable volts, we actually received over 400 volts. I think it was 416. The TV was fried. My freezer was fried. That was only 2 weeks old. All the chargers I had on board that were connected were fried. To the vacuum cleaner, to one of my electric scooters, to a battery drill. My Wi-Fi router was fried. and I had a hard drive that was connected, that was fried. So a lot of things got damaged on my boat. I had many things connected at the time. But the lucky part for me in all of this is that I had just changed my battery bank over to lithium, and I had then installed also the solar panels. So I had kept my battery charger off just to see if the solar panels could hold the power that I used alone. And because of this, none of my 12 volts is, to my knowledge, affected by this at all. Now I haven't had an electrician on board yet to measure everything and look for what could have been wrong, but I haven't noticed that any of the 12 volt system is affected by this. But still the 220 is, and I don't like to use 220 on this boat now unless I'm present and awake. We went to talk to the marina and what had happened was that they had been having problem with the electric system and had called for an electrician who came to fix this, and he had made a mistake. And that's why they were sending out 440 instead of 220. They took full responsibility for this. They told me that this was of course on them. They would try to fix everything, but I would have to talk with a higher office. And when I came to this higher office, I had to explain all this once more. And they sent me to an even higher office. And on the way, this responsibility they talk of, that disappeared. It just vanished. I guess that is how the Spanish system works. There's a lot of bureaucracy, and on the way you lose your rights. So I contacted my insurance company, and this will most likely be an insurance thing for me, which kind of sucks because I have a self-risk of about €1,000, so that's what I paid for the freezer. I will get a little back for the rest, but I still lose a lot of money, and this was not my mistake at all. But the main concern is this boat didn't actually catch fire, and that is just lucky. That's because I was here just there and then. I came down here to grab a soda. I felt something smelling a little bit, and I heard that the heater fan that was on didn't have its normal rhythm. So I took it off. That's when I turned to the fridge to grab the soda, and when I had my back against the TV, I heard this roaring sound, and the saloon was filled with smoke in 3 or 4 seconds. But I had the big hatch open, and I had a smaller hatch in the front cabin open, so the smoke disappeared very quickly. And that is a good thing, since this smoke is so toxic. But if I hadn't been here, if I had left the boat as I planned to, without getting the soda, this boat was just seconds away from catching real fire. If the TV had burned out for real, the rest of the boat would have been gone with it. So this was really dramatic. Yeah. But then again, here I am. I'm still sailing, and we live to see another day.
There's the mermaids.
So now you have to tell me the name of this company who made these beautiful stickers for me.
There are actually two companies.
Two companies?
One, the rotulation one. It's called rotulation?
I don't know.
And I mean these things,
Yeah?
it's made by Rotomotor.
Rotomotor?
Yes.
Yeah?
And
In Malaysia?
yes. And behind this wall
Yes?
is another company.
Yes.
It's called De Colores.
And they are
And
doing
it's-
t-shirts and
yes.
caps? Yes.
I thought you were alone. It's like completely alone.
Yeah, not completely alone, no.
You have to be very brave to sail alone. Or crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Now the question is, should we sail or not today? My friend Rune and Fred and we were thinking about sailing across from Melilla to Cartagena today. Problem is that the weather window that we had is not, yeah, it looks good in the beginning, but at the end of the sail it will be a lot of wind. I do expect that there will be wind of maximum 30 to 35 knots even, and that is a bit much for me, so I'm not quite sure if I want to go. Problem is, if I don't leave now, then I will be stuck here in Melilla till after my grandmother's birthday, and after I've been to work after that, and then we're actually at the end of June already. So what to do? Should we stay or should we go? I think I've heard that one before. But then again, my friends are very eager to get over, especially Rune is very eager to get over. Fred, I think, is starting to come around and is not quite as sure anymore, because he's got a much smaller boat and it's slower, so it will take him longer to get across, which means he will come right in the winds of 30 knots. Oh, my phone. Oh shit. Do I look a little shocked right now? My brother just called me and told me I'm gonna be an uncle. I didn't see that one coming. Yay! Well, okay. Now I'm gonna go out and see if I can meet Rune and Fred and see what they think about this weather situation. I think that I'm not very keen on going. I hope they will reconsider too, but it's up to them. Yeah. Unless they talk me into doing something crazy here. Now I'm bored. It's been a shitty day weather-like. We were supposed to be sailing across to Europe today. So, yeah. If we had left yesterday when we talked about leaving, then I would be expected to reach Cartagena late tonight or tomorrow morning. But it's been really crappy weather and I'm so happy we didn't go. But now I'm bored and I have got these new stickers with the name of the boat. And the weather is not perfect, but it's not been raining for a while, so I think it's kind of dry, so I'm gonna go out and put them on. So the idea is that right on the back here there will be the Mermaid logo or the Mermaid name, and when you flip this up you will also have it on the back. That didn't turn out that bad, did it? Oh, that's kind of good. Yeah. Oh. It's another day of shitty weather here in Melilla. I was expecting spring to be here by now, but nope, it's not. The clouds and the rain isn't worrying me all that much, but the winds are. Now I've been listening to the winds all night when I was sleeping. It's been calming down a bit now, so I'm very happy we didn't go the other day when we were thinking about leaving. Weather seemed to be much worse than expected by the reports. Now everything about sailing has been postponed. I won't be doing any more sailing until the end of June. Now it's the 9th of April. I did expect that in the Mediterranean you would get summer a bit earlier than in Scandinavia, and I'm expecting full spring in Scandinavia now on my birthday, the 25th of April. It's always spring in Norway on the 25th of April, and that's just 2 weeks away. And here it's more winter now than ever, so I don't know if when summer will arrive here. Docking in the Mediterranean is really expensive, and especially with a boat that is more than 12 meters long like mine. I pay now here in Melilla with electricity and water. I think I pay about 340 euros a month, and that's cheap. In Valencia I've had offers of 450 euros a month plus tax, and that's cheap. If you pay by the night, many places in low season you pay like 50 euros a night. And that's expensive. I may go back down to Atalion, because there I can stay for free. Yeah. For 2 months I would save about 700 euro, and that's quite a lot of money as well. That's a little of what I'm thinking about just now. I was expecting to do more sailing at this time, but here we are still stuck, so yeah, I can't fix the weather, so it's not up to me to decide really. So, thank you very much for watching this episode of Sail Mermaid. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please give it a like, drop a comment below if you have something to say, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you next week. Bye.